So number one, thanks for everybody showing up. Happy New Year, as I said. I'm Al Z. I attempt to put this group together. How many new people are there here tonight? Okay. All right, we got about 3 or 4 people. All right, so I'll spend a little time on the introduction part of this, in terms of what the group does and so on. Our agenda tonight, I'll cover some administrative items, talk a little bit about what's been happening since the last meeting. And then I don't think I covered this topic last month because I think we ran out of time. I have to admit my memory's a little fuzzy. It's just a follow-up on the other side of the value screen that we've been talking about. Tonight, most of the meeting is going to be on algorithm tracking folios. So that's good and bad. Twice a year, we take a look at the algorithms that we've talked about in here, and I've got small dollar amounts running some of those algorithms over at Folio Investing, and we get to take a look at how they're doing. The good news is you'll get a wide breadth to see all the algorithms we've been looking at. The bad news is you'll get to see how they're doing. Some are doing good and some are doing less than good. And then the last thing, if we have time, is I'm going to talk a little bit about the dogs and cows of the dog. And we got to be out of here by 9 o'clock, so I'll get going. Administrative items. It was saving itself away. So here's the meeting schedule for the next couple of months. Next month we're back here again, so that's pretty easy. In March we're going to be meeting at the University Club of Palo Alto, and there's 2 pieces of meetings when we meet there. One is there's a dinner from 6 to 7. That's optional, obviously, and then there's the actual meeting, if you will, from 7 to 9. Okay. Let me tell you, one of the reasons we wound up there in March is both Campbell and Saratoga are filled up. It was hard to find a slot anywhere. So Rich isn't here, Rich Mirabella, and he came to the rescue. April's still TBD because I can't reserve the library room either at Campbell or here until tomorrow. The most you can do is 3 months ahead of time. So we'll see. For those of you who've never been there, there's a few pictures here about the University Club of Palo Alto. It's a very nice place, as you can see. We usually meet in this room right here. Okay. This is, if you attend dinner, they have a grill and they bring out food. It's quite nice. In terms of where it's at, Page Mill and Foothill, or Page Mill and 280, for those of you, who can relate to either one of those, or next to the VA Hospital Center, okay, depending on your point of view. There's some meeting details here. We're going to be able to talk about this next month as well. I didn't get a chance to talk to Rich. I'm assuming there'll be a fee of $4 to rent the room because he actually had it. Rich Mirabella is the guy that has the membership at UCPA, and so he has to actually pay for the room, etc. So that's one of the few times where we kind of pass the hat, if you will. Okay, upcoming events. First off, this Saturday, the Silicon Valley chapter has their monthly meeting, and Mark Rogers from Econo Day is going to be talking about the Federal Reserve and tracking the Fed. For those of you who don't know him, Mark is actually an ex-Fed economist. Okay, so he worked at the Fed for most of his career. It should be a pretty interesting talk. There's also a discussion group for those of you who are interested in that meets at Coco's restaurant the 4th Tuesday of the month. That's very informal. You have dinner and just chat. The next CTAG and Sector Surfer user group meetings are next Wednesday. It's a combined meeting. Joe, if you want to say something about that meeting.
I'll be happy to. Yes, it'll be the first meeting for Sector Surfer this year. It'll be our 7th meeting since we started a little over a year ago. And we're looking forward to a couple talks on Sector Surfer. And also, we're discussing the possibility that the Sector Surfer founder and creator, Scott Judd's, is going to be returning here to Silicon Valley in May. So Al and I are working on that. Maybe we'll have a joint meeting in May for Scott.
Yep, very good. The next item deals with the Silicon Valley Options Group. They're going to be meeting this Thursday, and they're going to have a session on trading as a business and the launch of the Silicon Valley Option Group's trading business exercise. So is there anybody here who goes to that? Oh, okay, so maybe you two guys want to say something about that.
Larry, you want to start?
Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, so I know there's a number of people sprinkled throughout the crowd that are real, they trade for a living, if you will, and I don't usually attend this function, but based on the introductory comments, it basically sounds like writing out a trading plan, and conducting your trades as a business.
It's really more than that. Writing a trading plan was be a subset. This is really, what does it take to set up a business for trading? And we're going to go into actually the creating of the business, employees, the insurance, the full enchilada, as we say. And there will be, over the next several months, we'll be developing a trading plan. What goes into making an effective trading plan? How do you go about deciding and so forth? And it'll be participation by the members.
Good.
And I don't know if Jim is the one that's going to be giving this, but I've heard him talk about this topic before. And it was extremely interesting. He's very good. Good in depth, very knowledgeable, and very interesting.
Yeah. He'll be leading the discussion on Thursday.
Then it'll be excellent.
Yeah.
It's much more interesting what the title sounds like.
Okay, very good. I think I have a conflict Thursday, but if I can, I'll show up even though.
Well, hopefully just watch the video on Investors Health.
Okay.
Are you gonna tape it? You usually don't.
I've asked for permission to tape this one as the beginning of a series of videos on the whole concept of creating a trading business.
Okay, great.
So I haven't heard back from Jim if he's
I'll
given me
send an
approval.
email and push it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. And then the last thing is there's actually going to be a VectorVest user group meeting next Tuesday, 5:30 to 8:30 at the Milpitas Library. Steve Greenfield runs that, so you can contact him if you're interested. There's his email address. All right. User presentations, so I always like to get somebody else up here besides me to talk and so on. So there's a list here of the things we've mentioned in the past. The new red item is Levain's Faber. He's got an article. We did a twist on a 4-asset portfolio that might be interesting. I think next month, John, you were planning to talk about another one of the Faber's articles dealing with sector rotation strategy that looks like Alpha Sector, for those of you who are involved with that. So these can be as informal or formal as you like. So please, if you're interested in showing anything, just contact me, email, or grab me after the meeting.
Question?
Yes, sir.
Is there a repository of?
Yes. It's
Next slide.
Next slide.
All right. Cool.
Basically, we don't do paper, okay, for the most part. All the presentations are a Dropbox. There's a link from there. For the new people, I do have 1 or 2 handouts that give you email addresses and so on. If you don't know how to get to the Yahoo board, there you go. So if you need that, do that, just contact me. Basically, everything is driven from the Yahoo board. That's where I post the, any comments about meetings. That's where I put pointers to various websites and the pointer to the Dropbox location. And the Dropbox location has a folder for every meeting, and so you can just go back and say, what did we talk about in the January 14 meeting, and there'll be all the files there. Yes, sir.
And I'm happy to announce that several of your videos are also available at investorshelp.net.
Yes. Thank you. So
Thank you.
if you